She goes, party people in the house.
There you go.
You think that song, Angela?
No.
All right, let's give Angela everyone's attention.
And guidance. And, did you get it to work?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get the image. I'll make a function to load the elements.
Below the muted button.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I got you.
so in the view controller, I'll make the collection view. It's like a table view, so just make sure the item is one, like a dynamic prototype. And give it a cell, an identifier. Put the image view in there. Make it fit in the container. One label for the name and another for the atomic mass. We need to make a new Cocoa Touch file for the collection view cell. And then add the outlets to it. Well, first, assign the class to that one. don't forget to make a outlet for the collection view. And here, when it loads data and when it loads the data and it reassigns elements, you want it to reload the data like in a table view. And here, write an extension for the view controller. Use the data source just like in a table view, and it'll get the helpful stubs. And you just fill it out like. And here you make a cell. DQ reusable cell and use the identifier you wrote for it. As you want to downcast it as the element collection view cell you made. Else return a normal UI collection view cell. Then I make a variable to be the single element at that cell. Then return the cell. yeah. I forgot to set the delegate, the data source to self. That's it. Goodbye.
How did you get it so that you had two different columns of things?
That was default.
It was default? Where did you find out it was default?
When I tried it out. Does anyone have any suggestions
For
to make it only 2 rows, 2 columns? Or make it 3 columns? The data source. Right here. See? Create function. UI collection view there. Collection view. Put in a guard there.
item size.
Which one? Which one?
Item size. What do you think that is? Gives you a size of on the entire team and ask you how many items you want in a row, and that's what the item, how many you want in the view of the field.
call it here.
Yeah, I'm calling it. Go back to the width. Right after width, right after width. Put that in front of it. Why did that work? What I did is she shrunk it down so that way we can get it on. We can get it on the side of the cell. The guidance. We can get it cell. And it's fit to the What are some questions you all have for Andrew?
Let's, hello everyone. Yes. Oh, hi. How do y'all feel about floundering? This collection view stuff is pretty similar to something else we've done, right, Adam? Yeah. Look, a collection view in the cell. What does this feel similar to, Adam? No, I asked the question first. It's impolite to answer a question with a question.
I'm not listening to tell you, but I'm listening.
Okay.
Like, is that a collection view controller?
No, this is just a view controller with the collection view in it.
Okay, because the things that I was looking at are like, why are we not using the view controllers instead of just?
That's a good question. The view controllers, so think about a table view controller. What does it have built into it? Yeah, and so does a collection view controller. But it might be that we actually only want, damn it, might be that we only actually want our collection view to take up this much space. And so like the demos you're seeing online are probably just like, let's get a collection view in the whole screen, just like we might. But I think it's instructive and helpful to have to set those delegates in that layout for yourself in case like you can get it to scroll up and down. You can also get it to scroll right and left. And say you only wanted this much space in the screen with a collection view where you could scroll right and left. That's where it might be helpful to have a collection view and some other views. Like, so let's say it louder.
Like Netflix, you have it on like mobile or like even on PC, where you can look like different drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Where else do you think you've seen collection views in the past? Any other people ever use like an app? In the app store? Let's see.
Isn't that table view
Hold on, I'm talking to Siri.
sorry.
Can you ask that again?
So wouldn't that be more so like table view with collection view inside of the view? No, you have
The app store?
yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Do they have the app store on here? Let's see. App. No. Well, that was a really helpful thing for me to give you. Let's see if we can find it in photos. We're going to learn about using photos. Oh, what's new in photos? A bunch of stuff. Let's go to my trip through, yep, somewhere. If I go to my albums, so your simulator actually has built-in images, and you can add to this. I think I can add from the file. Different way. I don't want to create a new. Let's look at my camera roll. This looks like a collection view, right? That's cool. Thank you. They're so nice that actually Apple said, can we use them as the default photos in our simulators? And I said yes. Cool. Liana?
As far as the way they use when you come to get the different codes and the way that they're shown the lesson layout,
Mm-hmm.
what is best practices?
Well, we haven't really gone into the lesson layout, so can you tell me about what you saw in the lesson layout?
You would be an extension of the view controller.
Ooh, let's try that. Can I ask you to hang tight so we can do it together? One way to lay out. Let's do Liana's as well. So you've got an extension. Tell me more about it. Neat. UI collection view delegate flow layout. The UI collection view delegate flow layout protocol defines methods that let you coordinate with a UI collection view flow layout object to implement a grid-based layout. The methods of this protocol define the size of items and spacing between items in the grid. Let me get that loaded. Ah, man. What? Delegate flow layout. See how I found it with like, but now I just hit enter and it autofills it. I can change that. Let's see if I can. Alright. You think that'll work? Okay. Thank God for pattern matching. Okay. So this thing, if we look at it again, it defines methods that let you coordinate with a UI collection view flow layout object. Huh? To you. It looks like they really used a UI collection view flow layout object as well. And so I think these are implementing something pretty similar. I would do it as an extension just so that it's like, I could put a mark here and be like, mark, flow layout. That's kind of it. Otherwise, they do the exact same thing, right?
Second question is not really about collecting views. I've seen this a couple of times in your model.
Uh-oh. Yes.
Where you have a static function that's input elements from data, where you actually do the JSON decoding
In my model.
in your model.
Yes.
Should it be, like, best practices, should that be in the model, or should it be in, like, method?
You tell me. What is this thing doing? That's right.
Why would you want it?
I would put it in here because conceptually what I'm thinking this does is it initializes new instances of the element. As opposed to in the API client, what this is handling is going somewhere on the internet to get stuff. And so ultimately, I use that other function in here, right? I think. Yep. You could have just put like those 2 lines of this stuff in that function elsewhere, but I kind of want to, for my own kind of anal retentive purposes, but also for readability of my code, like I want to help people know what things are doing. I think this function does that. I only put it this way because it might be that this function decodes elements from data and actually like return, I don't know, response.map.something. I might do more work in there. Mostly we've just been getting objects and using them directly, but I might do some kind of transformation in there. And so you will do stuff like that with stuff that you get from the API. That's why I say it. Like you might have a function that encodes data in a specific way to send it as well. That's not just use a JSON encoder .encode. Ayla? I don't know. Seems to not let me do it just because of the way it's going to be used elsewhere. Errors are not being thrown. So if this doesn't have the potential to throw, honestly, I hate throws and just kind of make it work. Let me find you a better answer to why that has to be there. What are some more questions? Here are my thoughts for today. Is we do some questions and then I can do a mini lecture on this at 2. But you should start the lab since you've already gotten some collection view experience. Michelle. This guy? Because I think it relates specifically to how elements are gotten off the internet. Okay, got it. Nice rubber ducky. That's great. Adam. My file thing. What is the question? Say please. I'm sorry? I got a cell, yeah. Well, I didn't even do any of this. It was Angela who did all the hard work. Thank you again, Angela. That was great. What are some more questions you got? Also, no, sorry. I'll say these before we wrap. There are 2 things that I think would make life easier, or I want to ask if they'll make life easier. But please ask me more questions about collection views first. Jason, you look like you have a question. Okay.
So, I'm gonna ask
Please do.
So, what I do in the storyboard.
The storyboard.
So, like, where do we control what direction that we control?
Ooh. Where do we control what direction it goes in? Let's see if we can find that out. Let's read the documentation. I can't really teach today. It's not allowed. It's Floundering Thursday. Collection, view, control, direction. Collection view. The direction. Layout. The layout object to use. Oh, this is an object. Use this control to select between the layout object and a custom layout object. When the flow layout is selected, you can also configure the scrolling direction for the collection view's content, whether the flow layout has header and footer views. Let's go look at that flow layout we were using. And since it's implemented in one way, let's just use that one way. Excuse me. Wow. That was very impolite. I hope no one heard that on the feed. So we've got a layout, function. Gonna lay it out. Then we can probably change this layout to, I don't know, do some stuff. set a scroll direction. Based on what we've seen in the past, Alex, how do you think scroll direction is defined? And since there are only two directions, how do you think it's defined? No, that's good. Amazing. It's incredible. What? But I'm just gonna, just like with the rest of my life, I'm gonna continue to look for love anyway with them. Thanks. I'm hopeful. Oh, no, I got rid of something. Are we hitting this? Are we hitting this? Did I change the storyboard in the wrong way? Yep. Neat. Let's do that. Look at this debugging. Wow. What joy. I'm gonna scroll. Ooh, I can scroll right to left now. So it's literally just changing that layout object, saying its scroll direction is horizontal. Anthony. Yes, I want to make that a larger thing because I also want to talk about URL caching as well. I want to talk about what caching is. It is kind of part of persistence in a way, so it'll lend well to what we're doing. Another day. I want to give it its own time. We are kind of experimenting with the idea of potentially like extending this unit so that it can go a little slower. With plenty of content, don't worry, but yeah, that was one of the things. The other thing, and I think there was a third thing, and now I forgot it. The other thing that I can remember right now is clearly yesterday you had an activity in the morning and an activity in the afternoon. So Whiteboarding Wednesdays is going to be renamed as Typeboarding Tuesdays. So we're going to move it to Tuesdays, and we're going to use that emoji to refer to it. But also those problem sets will exist online and you can do them anytime. Did anyone whiteboard yesterday? I know the questions were literally, I came up with them independently of Ben's DSA, but apparently like more than half of them were literally the same question. So, cool. All right. What do y'all think of hash maps? Yeah? Did you do any collisions? Okay. Hash collision. Cool. Do you want to see a really, really simple, did you talk about hashing functions? Do you want to see like a really simple hashing function? So, what did you learn about hashing functions? What does a hashing function do? Yeah. Takes in the value and returns the number. Did you talk about why you might, or like a specific case where you might use a hashing function? Password, that's great. So, what? Why don't you use in passwords? Because you want to encrypt the actual value. So, the way passwords work is someone used a ton of supercomputers to run a ton of basically operations. They took the largest possible set of characters that they could do in some reasonable amount of time and created a package that I forgot the name of. Oh well. There's one that used to be pretty popular called Deep Red, but now there's one that's way bigger. It's something like 2 to the some number power available keys and values. You use this hashing to change any password from some any length into some other length, and you would need this huge package of information. You need to know every single thing in there to reasonably, or at least half of it, to reasonably be able to crack the code. So if there are one with 15 zeros, different values in this package, it might be really hard to crack this password hash. You want to see a really bad hashing function though? Check this out. Here's my function. Give letter. String. Int. And just return. That's not count. This is a hashing function. Just a bad one. Good. Why do you think it's bad? If I want to have a package of a million, billion, million, and another billion zeros, available options that I can turn password I used to use all the time was Davis 42289. I don't know why. I use that, put it through this hashing function. I can also use David House. I got 10. There's a ton of versions. You probably can exceed really any value beyond like 25. It's not good. Still a hashing function. Adam, what was your question?
You seem say that you want to change the password. Something like you said something, and I feel like almost have the word change.
Yeah.
So like instead of there was switching something, it's like what, like are the constants switch with the keys, like
So, yeah, I would think of it like a black box, and the process by which you actually implement the password is if I sign up and I say again my password is Davis1439. This is only going to get you into my older AIM, so I don't even want. You put it into that black box, and then out comes. So this is some functionality that you don't control. You just say, hey, big thing of a bunch of values that encrypt this value. What gets saved into your database, so on your API, or your login, might be like E6 $sign, for probably like 30 characters. And so this just does a conversion between string to string. And when you start making your own APIs, if you look into you look in like the database, so if you remember Airtable, you're able to actually look through the information that was saved in there. If you look through the database, you'd see like username and password, you'd see this encrypted value. So no one has actual access to this except for the user, and then whatever you, and then you have to, when someone goes to log in, send that somewhere.
why would you have to
That's why when you forget your password to Facebook can't just tell you what it is. They never knew. They only have the hash value.
Hackers try to, the way this was come up with was kind of brute force. They just said, let's put together all the sequences of strings for maybe 25 characters at the end. Which, if you think about it, is a huge number of things. And so hackers try to do the same thing. Maybe they have a better methodology. They just calculate from A, B, C, A, and B, 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 B. Probably do it better than I can describe it, but what they're trying to do is just recreate this box.
that API checks using that key, that big ass number,
I'm not sure which key you're talking about. It might be some specific API. It might be something for this encryption. We need a concrete example to, I guess, understand.
I mean, like, we expect it to go to the database, and then you go to get to the database, something besides the big key. So that I would.
No, in the database, they never decrypt it. So if this is my app, the server, this is my app, the client. When I sign up, I go and I say, hey, here's the password I want to use. I just put it into this thing that my app doesn't know how to use in either situation. And then every time I log in, I send this value through here, and my server makes sure that this encrypted value matches what's saved there. So we don't actually know the text of this at any point. My app never knows the text of that at any point. So it's kind of like, think of it like setting and accessing the value of the dictionary. Like when I sign up, I'm setting up that value in there, and then every other time I'm checking that value. And it's always mediated by this whole thing. Cool. There is a go-to one. What is the go-to for encryption? No. Come on. What is best encryption for algorithm? The RSA, of course. I bet you've actually heard RSA before. What is RSA? Nope, that was just what that is. What? What? Yeah, I don't know. AES, 3DES, 2FISH. It's a symmetric block cipher based on an earlier block cipher, Blowfish. That makes sense. All right. So I'll see you at 2. Let me just make sure that works. But you should get started on the lab. At 2. Why did this move? Messages?
Yeah.